We will create the following 3D model using Catia V5. As you can see, I have what could be a cube right here. And this cube has this hole in this direction and this hole in this direction. Alright, so the first thing that we have to take into account here for us to create this 3D model is the information within the views, within the engineering draw. So right here I have these three views, and one step that I should take for me to start creating this 3D model is to select the view that contains the most information possible. As you can see right here, I have 2 dimensions. Right here I have one dimension, and right here I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 dimensions. So the one that I'm going to start using for me to create this 3D model is this view, right? This model was made by Luis Miguel Huerfano Garzón. And the second thing that we have to take into account here is the unit system that the engineering draw is using. So since I cannot see information next to the dimension of the unit system, then I should look for that information within the technical draw. But as you can see, there is none, right? There is usually a box right here or whatever, taking into account the normativity of the technical draw, that contains not only the unit system but also the material, the person who did this engineering draw, the person who checked the engineering draw, and more information maybe about tolerances, whatever, the material or that kind of information. But since there is none, I can assume that these are millimeters, right? So I'm gonna start creating this sketch. So I'm gonna start mechanical design, power design. This is going to be the tutorial, I don't know, 16, since this is the existing tutorial within the channel, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Then I'm going to create this sketch using the lateral view. So I'm going to click on a sketch, I'm going to select the plane, and I'm going to create the shape that we have right here. So right here I have this, right here I have something like this. Okay, I didn't like how this end up, so I'm going to start creating just these lines, this line, and this is generated the other way. So I think that I can change that right here. Alright, then it is telling me that I have the center of this circle right here. This matches with these axis lines. So I'm gonna create a line right here that is meant to be a construction, that are meant to be a construction line. So right here I'm going to click on these two and I'm going to select this option, the construction standard element. Then I'm going to say that these lines, this point and this point, is going to be coincidence, right? Everything looks good. Then I'm going to create the dimensions for me to define it. Right here I have this radius, sorry about that. Right here I have this dimension and this dimension. What this is telling me is that this engineering draw was made with a mistake, right? Because it is showing me in pink or purple or whatever that this element is over constrained. right? So that means that I should not use, for example, this dimension. Why is that? Because it is not necessary, right? So this is a mistake right here. Then what I'm going to do is to change the values using this tool, the edit multi-constraint. So this is 60. And as you can see right here, is showing me in cyan the measures that I've changed, in orange the measures that I'm currently changing, and in green the dimensions that I'm not changed yet. Right, so this is equal to 29 and this is equal to 48. Right, everything looks good. So I'm getting out of the sketch. Then I'm going to use the path definition tool. Then I'm going to look for the dimension that tells me the information that I need, that is 96. So 96, enter. And then what I'm going to do is to create one sketch with respect of this face for me to create this hole. Alright, so I'm gonna start by clicking right here, and I'm going to call this line to the sketch that I'm currently doing. So I'm gonna click on the project 3D elements, then I'm going to select the line. I'm going to click on OK, as I just did, and I'm going to click right here because I want that this line to be for construction purposes. Alright, so I'm gonna click on rectangle. I'm gonna deselect this option since I want this rectangle to be shown, and I'm going to say that right here, well, first I'm going to create a line with respect of this. This line has to be vertical, as you can see, has to be touching the middle of this line, the exact middle. Alright, so what I'm going to say is that between this point and this point is going to be a symmetry line that is going to be this one. Alright, right here I can be sure that this rectangle is going to be created with respect of the center of the 3D part, right? So then I'm going to select this tool for me to define it, and that would be all, guys. So this is equal to 48 and 38, enter. Then I'm getting out of the sketch. Right here I have this rectangle. Then I'm going to select the pocket definition tool, and I'm going to say that up to last. Right, what this does is that it tries to find the last face across the 3D element, in this case this face. So everything looks good. Okay, and that would be all, guys. This is how you can create this 3D element using Catia V5.